everyone, it's me, Queen PR, one half of those wrestling girls, and welcome back to Where Wrestling Meets Pop Culture, where we discuss who Brooke Hogan married, which one of our favorite wrestlers dressed like Beyonce, and why Maxine Dupree applied to WWE. So we have a big show ahead of you, so welcome back to Where Wrestling Meets Pop Culture, and we'll be right back. So we are kicking off the show with why one of the biggest rising stars in WWE right now, Maxine Dupree, applied to work for WWE. So I love this story because it is another reason why we need to advocate for the significance of Total Divas when you talk about the history of women's wrestling. Maxine Dupree was on the Lightweights podcast, and when she was asked why she thought to apply to WWE, she talked about how she watched Total Divas in high school and how she would think, quote, these girls are so cool, they're so athletic, they have the coolest style, and she thought it was so interesting. So the fact that she watched Total Divas, and that is what inspired her to become a wrestler, is so important because she noted that these women, Nikki and Brie Garcia, Paige, Natalia, Trinity, that these women are wrestlers, but they're also so multifaceted. They're beautiful, they're stylish. We get to see a different side of them, and they're, a part of WWE. So I love that Maxine Dupree was inspired by Total Divas. Bianca Belair as well. She was able to see, because she didn't grow up a fan, she was able to see that different side of what being a women's wrestler in WWE is about. So I loved learning that. Shout out to Maxine Dupree, and much love to Total Divas. So Shannon Sharpe has been trending recently. If you have not watched his explosive interview with Cat Williams, then you've literally been living under a rock. The full episode already has over 25 million views. It's been out maybe 3 days now. But anyway, one of the more interesting things about Shannon Sharpe is that he expressed his love of wrestling. He is a longtime wrestling fan. He was talking to Gilbert Arenas, and he went back. He talked about Bobo Brazil, Abdullah the Butcher, Crusher Blackwell. He knew his shit. And Triple H actually quote tweeted a video of him talking about it and expressed gratitude that Shannon Sharpe was able to talk about his fandom from back in the day and his knowledge and respect for our business. I love when Triple H says that, because wrestling is something that you have to protect. And the fact that Shannon Sharpe, on such a huge platform that he is talking about of wrestling. So shout out to Shannon Sharpe. I will link the full episode with him talking about some of these wrestlers. He also talks about Dusty Rhodes. Like, he gets into it. So if you haven't listened to it, I'll quote it in the description and you can check it out. But shout out to Shannon Sharpe. I wouldn't be surprised if he is featured in WWE somehow this year. As you know, and why we have this platform is because WWE is merging into the mainstream more and more. So I think we will see Shannon Sharpe on WWE television this year. Mark my words. Oh, Zelina Vega and Dakota Kai are adorable. So these are two women who have also created a huge platform on Twitch. They are known as gamers, they're anime fans, and they started a podcast that recently was able to gain 15,000 subscribers. So they got a tattoo to celebrate the occasion, and they're adorable. They're here, as you can see. And if you haven't checked out their gaming channel, I linked that in the description. Subscribe, support them. It's all things, as you know, Zelina Vega and Dakota Kai, this is their strength, this is their interests, and they fought for their platforms. It's been a long journey for them. So them hitting, 15,000 subscribers is a huge deal. So shout out to Zelina Vega and Dakota Kai. Congratulations. Oh, speaking of congratulations, this story has brought me to tears because I have seen how far Mr. Victor Perry, the leader, the founder of the wrestling club, has come with this initiative. He wanted to bring wrestling to his students, and he has done that in so many amazing ways. Last year, the wrestling club fundraised to go to WrestleMania 39 in LA. A lot of podcasts like Black Wrestling, Black Announce Table, and a lot of organizations supported that cause, and they were able to go to WrestleMania. And since then, the wrestling club has been able to go to House of Glory shows, AEW shows, more WWE shows. I think every time they've been in New York so far. Um, They've done so much. So this year, this week actually in particular, I would say has been the best week in the wrestling club history. They were able to go to AEW front row. They went to their first House of Glory show. They got custom championship belts from Championship Culture. Check out that belt. It's pictured here. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I don't think Championship Culture could have done a better job. And then on top of that, none other than Cody Rhodes is sending the wrestling club to WrestleMania. He tweeted out that he's got the wrestling club's tickets and hotels to WrestleMania 40. So we are going to be able to see the wrestling club at WrestleMania 40. It is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Victor Perry posted the video of them learning that Cody Rhodes is sending them to Mania. He also posted the video of them getting the championship belt. And it's such a wholesome, beautiful thing to watch. And we all know how special wrestling can be and how much it's changed a lot of our lives, and especially in our childhood of like everything brought to us. So now to see that, Mr. Perry and people like Cody Rhodes are supporting this experience for these kids, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I want to thank Mr. Perry. I want to thank Cody Rhodes, Kip Amp for allowing Mr. Perry to have this initiative in their school. And now there's a lot of wrestling clubs popping up all over the country that are bringing people together through wrestling. And it is a lovely thing. So I love all of this. I'm sending love to the wrestling club. If you want to support, anything helps. If you want to support the wrestling club, if you want to buy their merch, I will link that in the description. You can always support the wrestling club all year round. This is the third school year they're doing it. It has grown exponentially every single year, and it's only going to get bigger. So anything helps support this for the kids. It's even made People magazine. Like, it is huge. So shout out to the wrestling club. So Bayley, a diehard 49ers fan, was able to present a WWE Legacy title for the 49ers to George Kittle, which we know is a big deal because one, this is a big deal for Bayley. And also, George Kittle has mixed it up with WWE. He was involved in WrestleMania in Hollywood. He clotheslined The Miz. And also, I have to shout out that Bayley is rocking the new chalk line SF's jacket, and they definitely reposted it because she just looks amazing. And it's a fabulous moment. Shout out to George Kittle. Shout out to the 49ers. We're not even going to get into, yeah. Sorry. I'm just like, we're tied. We're tied after all of that. We're tied. So I made a bet. So me and my dad have this football competition that we're doing where we both chose two teams, and whichever person with both teams wins tallied has the most wins over losses gets to buy the other one dinner. But also I ordered a custom trophy from Amazon that says something about our like competition or whatever. But you don't understand how I'm a sore loser, and I've been talking a lot of shit because my two teams have been the Eagles and the Rams, and the Eagles are really good and the Rams won a lot, whatever. So I've been talking a lot of shit, and I am a sore loser and I need to win. So that is why I had that reaction when I talked about the 49ers. I'm all the way happy for Bayley, but also like, you're losing me a lot of clout in this competition. So speaking of the NFL, because I have been more involved in the NFL this season than I think I ever have. Shout out to the Ravens. So Logan Paul, who is currently the US champion, has been very busy ever since he won that championship. from Rey Mysterio. Patrick Mahomes and him was doing some promo work. Prime was involved, but an interesting trade happened. Logan Paul traded. I really enjoy what Logan Paul is doing. But he traded the US Championship for Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl ring. And I can't help but think, like, is that a fair trade? I need to know from you guys. Is Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl ring a fair trade for the WWE US Championship? I need to know. But either way, this is a great example of why having Logan Paul involved in WWE is a fabulous thing, because this is a very high profile trade if you think about it, and a lot of different outlets covered it, including ESPN, People magazine. This has been all over. It has gone viral, along with a lot of other things Logan Paul has done with this US championship. Yes, and you have to remember that Patrick Mahomes has 2 Super Bowl rings. So that makes the trade even more interesting. And also, who is winning the Super Bowl this year during Usher's concert? Yes, it's Usher's concert. I mean, come on, let's be real. The football game in between the Usher concert. So Dala, one of the busiest people in the wrestling business, presented Tennessee with the Citrus Bowl title. And it's just great to see Dala mixing it up. He is always out there, which I love. And that championship is actually pretty cool. It's a big time for different championship belts. So shout out to Dala, and he recently also debuted in Memphis Wrestling. So if you want to keep up with what he's doing, make sure you follow him on Instagram. Willow Nightingale was on Food Network Super Chef Grudge Match. So I live with a chef, my twin sister Letty. She is a fantastic chef. She's obsessed with the Food Network. So I, by association, have gotten to know a lot of the different shows on the Food Network and also a lot of the chefs. I'm a huge fan of the host of Super Chef Grudge Match, Darnell. Super Chef Ferguson is a very talented, well-known chef. He's a Black man. He owns restaurants. He has done so much, especially on the Food Network. And also just having Willow Nightingale, who is on the AEW roster and just one of the most sweetest, just talented wrestlers. She has that it factor. So seeing her on a Food Network show is just so cool. And it is one that you don't want to miss. It debuted last week, so you can catch it streaming on Max. So make sure you check that out. Also, another interesting fact about this appearance is she is there with Jade Cargill, and it is very hard to find any real photos or videos of her on this appearance. And I have a lot to say about that, because I think it is very intentional, because now that obviously this appearance was made a long time ago when Jade Cargill and Willow Nightingale were both a part of AEW. Jade Cargill is now signed to WWE. So I don't think it is a coincidence that we could not find a lot of the photos and interactions of her and Willow on this. But Willow Nightingale shines, and I don't think this is going to be the last time we see her on different shows. So shout out to Willow Nightingale. And if you want to catch this episode of Super Chef Grudge Match, check it out on Max. So now going into the love corner, Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's only daughter, secretly wed hockey player Stephen Oleski last summer. She was able to keep it under wraps. I love that she's been able to keep her private life private, because she has always lived a very high profile life. She also shared that she's been distancing herself from her family. They have a lot of just fundamental disagreements with politics and a lot of things, but she is living her best life. She owns a design firm in Nashville, I believe. So she is doing her thing. She is happily married to Stephen Oleski, and Brooke, he is a cutie. So shout out to Brooke Hogan. We wish her all the best. Next, one of my favorite couples, Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. We knew that Bianca and Montez were filming a reality show with Hulu, but now there is officially a premiere date, February 2nd. And also, we got to learn a little bit about what the show's about. The show goes back to their road to WrestleMania last year, but we also get to see what their lives are like outside of WWE. We get to learn about their family and community that is there to support their careers. We also get to see how they balance it all. You know, they're a married couple, they're best friends, they have a family, they navigate every aspect of their lives together. So we get to peek into Montez and Bianca's love story. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm very, very excited for this show. Make sure you tune into Pop Culture because we will have a segment where we review all 8 episodes in the first season. Congratulations to Bianca and Montez. We cannot wait to watch the show. Speaking of shows that we are excited about, Rivals on A&E is returning. It will be hosted by Gabriel Iglesias, who has been a long time WWE fan. He will be hosting it. Natalia posted more of the cast: Kevin Nash, Cody Rhodes, JBL, X-Pac, Kofi Kingston. So it's going to be a full casted show. It is going to be amazing. Some of our favorite wrestlers. I'm so curious to see what rivalries they cover because Rivals was definitely one of my favorite. All of the A&E WWE shows have been really, really good. So I'm excited for this new round of shows, this new episode. And you really can't go wrong with this panel of judges. I also want to give a huge shout out to Natalia Neidhart, who just posted that she has now been contracted under the WWE for 17 years. And that is just huge. And I don't think anyone appreciates or has given more to WWE in the last 17 years than Natalia Neidhart. You know, her being a Guinness World, you know, she's broken countless Guinness World Records throughout her wrestling career. Her and TJ being able to open the dungeon to train other wrestlers under her. If you are able to train under Natalia Neidhart, you are going to be like already one of the best wrestlers in the fucking business because there is no one better at what they do than Natalia Neidhart. And I'm so grateful for what her and TJ have given back to women's wrestling and wrestling in general, because it is up to people like her to pass down what they know. And she is so fabulous and phenomenal. So shout out to Natalia Neidhart. I love you, girl. I'm excited for the new season of Rivals. Speaking of wrestling legacies, Kevin Von Erich has been able to relive the good old days with his family now that the Iron Claw film is out about his family, and it has been doing well. It has received great reviews. He is hosting an evening with Kevin Von Erich, Stories from the Top Rope, in Fort Worth, Texas, March 29th. And I'm very excited for him because he now gets to share, he gets to look back fondly. It's not just talking about the tragedies. Now he gets a chance to sit with David Manning, who has known the family forever, and he gets to share stories from his fabulous life as a professional wrestler. He has talked about how fortunate he is in his life. He does not feel sorry for everything that's happened for him. He appreciates everything that he's experienced in this crazy life as a wrestler, and now he's going to be telling all of these fantastic stories. So make sure I have linked in the description where you can get your tickets to see that if you are in Texas, or you can travel to Fort Worth. I think this is going to be a show that you don't want to miss. Zac Efron plays Kevin Von Erich in The Iron Claw, and he is also getting very rave reviews on that. It is his breakthrough performance. Those that know where Zac Efron came from, his breakout role back in the mid 2000s was in High School Musical, and he recently did an interview with W Magazine, and he said his role in High School Musical actually prepared him for the Iron Claw. And that might sound odd when you first hear it because High School Musical is a teen Disney Channel movie, but he played a singer and a dancer, and he was not well versed in being a singer and a dancer when he was cast for that role. So he had to learn how to do all of these things, and learning the choreography for the dancing and the singing in High School Musical prepared him for what he needed to learn in the Iron Claw as far as performing as a wrestler. And him and Jeremy Allen White have said in interviews promoting the Iron Claw film that wrestling is an art form and they have a huge respect for it. And they had to get in and learn it, and they do a fantastic job. Mick Foley has even praised the wrestling scenes in that movie. Chavo Guerrero was the wrestling coordinator and choreographer in that film and had to teach them how to wrestle. And so just hearing the connection, if you're a millennial like me, hearing the connection of Zac Efron making between High School Musical and the Iron Claw is amazing. So go check out the Iron Claw film, and I'm so proud of everyone involved. I love Meg Thee Stallion. She's one of my favorites. So is she WrestleMania bound? Meg Thee Stallion has been talked about in the wrestling realm. Shout out to that podcasting brand. But they have been talking about, a lot of people have been talking about Meg Thee Stallion's outfits because her one pieces that she wears performing are very similar and can be easily turned into wrestling gear. So I pictured a lot of my favorite Meg Thee Stallion looks here that I can easily see like Mercedes Moné wearing, or even like Trinity, or even like a Carmella, because they're very well done. They're very unique. They stand out. And Meg has always, because she's the Stallion, she's always been compared to a wrestler or even just a strong woman in general that can like do it all. So I can easily see one of these looks being translated into the ring. And who knows? Who knows? We could see a Meg Thee Stallion appearance in WWE. You never know. So let me know how you guys feel about Meg's looks. Do you think she'd ever kind of make that connection with wrestling? I don't know. Nickelback's Chad Kroeger joins Triple H backstage at SmackDown recently, and he was able to pose with Triple H doing his signature point pose. Nickelback has always had a great relationship with WWE, so it's always fun seeing, celebrities that we love enjoying the product. This is our new segment, The Fashion Corner, and this is where I talk about some of my favorite looks of the past week that some of your wrestlers have rocked outside of the ring. So let's get into it. Zelina Vega recently posted on Instagram rocking a Roberto Clemente Roots of Fight jacket. So I love the colors. I love the vibrancy. Zelina Vega is always used to pulling off a look. But I wanted to point this out particularly because I am from the Bronx. Zelina Vega is Puerto Rican from Queens. Roberto Clemente is a hero to us. So I love that she showed love to him, and I love that she rocked this jacket. Shout out to Roots of Fight. My next favorite looks this week are the Garcia twins. They are my favorite fashion girlies, and they have come up. They recently attended the Amazon MGM Vanity Fair party and presented 3 awards at the Creative Arts Emmys. So my girls, Nikki and Brie, they are out here. They're coordinating looks. They match, but they don't. They show their individual personalities. Bree's, blush goldish gown, and Nikki's that lace pickable, but also very glamour look is very much Nikki. And they're drinking champagne at a Vanity Fair party. I can't think of a better image of the Garcia twins than that. And next is Renee Paquette sparkling in a Dean Marabi one-piece suit. She wore this New Year's Eve week at AEW, and let me tell you, my girl is shining. Check out her Instagram. She posted a video where you can really see how much that one-piece sparkles. She looks absolutely fabulous. I love Renee's style. I love that she dresses for her, and it never looks like she's doing too much. It always just looks like she is right on point. And tonight's main event is Jade Cargill stunning in this red 2-piece by Patbo, which is a collaboration with the owner, Patricia Bonaldi. So I did my research to check out Patricia Bonaldi's brand, Patbo, and I found out that she dressed none other than Beyonce. So if you like this denim look of Beyonce in Brazil and one of her tour looks from Renaissance, it is all Patbo. So this is definitely a designer that I'm going to be watching, and I think it's so cool that none other than Jade Cargill is rocking Patbo. So I want to shout out whoever is Jade Cargill's image consultant, her brand manager, whoever is working with Jade Cargill, she's on it because she's always wearing the next top designer. She's always fabulous from head to toe, and she's always rocking designer things. So I love everything Jade Cargill is doing. Shout out to Patbo. Shout out to Beyonce always. But this has been the Fashion Corner. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this week's edition of Where Wrestling Meets Pop Culture. And this is the show where we get into everything your favorite wrestlers are doing outside of the ring, including red carpet appearances, TV shows, fashion, spotlights, all of the things that happen in between our favorite wrestling shows. I want to thank Storyline Tees for bringing this show to you. If you like my GOAT Stone Cold t-shirt, I might can hook you up with it. If you follow Storyline Tees on Instagram, I will link the link to this t-shirt as well as Storyline Tees shop in the description. I want to thank those wrestling girls, of course. This show is powered by them. Cresta B and I have a lot coming up this year. I want to shout out the crew. I want to shout out Brian H. Waters for always just being a huge support and one of the best producers out there. And if you like this show, we are 5 episodes in. We want to keep this going. We want to keep this momentum going. Tell all of your friends to check out Where Wrestling Meets Pop Culture every week. And if you have something to contribute to the show, whether it's a pop culture story or a fashion corner story, tweet us using hashtag popculturewrestling. And this is me, PR, and we will see you next week.